Good morning, this is Jennifer Perry and welcome back to my scrap room. Today we are working on my first WIP and chat with the Josephine wall Masque of Love. So if you have a project that you would like to work on, dig it out, pull up a chair, sit next to me and let's work on this together. I had just a little bit of a rough start getting ready. I forgot to turn my light pad on. I just had to kind of get situated. You may see my head a little bit in this video. I didn't have the camera positioned the way I thought I had it positioned. And the editing that I did do was mainly any long pauses that I did or trying to get my head out of frame. If my head was majorly in frame and covering the work. And if you hear a cat behind me, I apologize. He's wanting to play. The other thing that I want to bring issue up with is my right hand. You're going to see some damage to my right hand. I decided to garden the other day without gloves. So 4 out of 5 fingers on my right hand ended up a blistered mess. And I'm going to apologize, but it's blisters. I'm fine. They're healing. But if I tried to put band-aids over them, I wouldn't be able to diamond paint well. So I just went with it. We had a lovely Mother's Day. I actually filmed this on Mother's Day. I was able to just diamond paint till my little heart was content. But I purposely, and it was a little counterproductive to what Mother's Day is supposed to be, I purposely did laundry on Mother's Day. And the reason I did laundry on Mother's Day is because it makes me wiggle. When the washing machine stops and you gotta go change your clothes over from the washing machine to the dryer, that's a great wiggle break for diamond painting, and it's about every 30 to 45 minutes. So it forces you to just put your pen down, get up, change your laundry over, get a drink, go potty, come back, and work for another 30 to 45 minutes. I had a small window when my jeans were in the dryer. Those always take a little bit longer, so that's when I took the time to film this. So you're sitting there wondering to yourself, but you filmed, and this is an hour. This is not 45 minutes. Nope, jeans are the exception. So it took longer for the jeans to dry, and that's when I took advantage and filmed this video. But I had a lovely Mother's Day, and because I took my wiggle breaks, I didn't hurt. I had almost a full day of diamond painting, and you'll see at the end of the video, I will show all of my progress that I've done so far. This is the first video that I have filmed, but what I normally do is when I first start a canvas is I will do 1 to 3 squares on my own to learn the symbols before I start to videotape anything for you guys. I want to get very familiar with the canvas before I present you with anything. So that's why at the end of the video you'll see what I've been able to get done, and that's why you haven't seen it up to this point. My containers that I'm using for this painting are working very, very well. I am very happy with them. You are going to see, I'm going to have a tongue twister this morning, that for some of them I pull out my zipper wax and I show you what zipper wax it is, and I will link it below for you so you can find it. But I pull out my zipper wax to just kind of help the brand new lids. Some of them, because they are new, are a bit tight. They don't turn very well yet. The containers are fine. They're perfect containers. They just need a little help. So I found that if I take zipper wax and just kind of barely put along the edges and then twist the lid on and off a couple of times, it is now a perfectly smooth turning lid. So you'll see that from time to time. You'll see me playing with my zipper wax, and I will put a link down below for that for you, along with the link for the containers, because I am loving them. They are working out quite well. So pardon me, I'm drinking some water because I have a bit of a frog in my throat. The weather in Texas has just been crazy. We have had up to 80-degree days, almost 90-degree days, and then the next day will be 60 degrees. So all of us are sounding very froggy, allergy issues, sneezy. So if I have to stop and sneeze, I will stop and sneeze. But it's just pure outdoor junk going on. Today, I'm in my fuzzy slippers wrapped up in a blanket wearing long sleeves. It's, when I'm doing this voiceover, it's May 11th. And normally in Texas, it's not chilly on May 11th, but it's chilly today. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying home. I have in our spare bathroom, I have a Keurig tea set up, kind of hotel style. And if I get too chilly, I'll stop and go get me a cup of tea without having to go downstairs. I have plenty of water in my fridge, so I just grab a bottle of water, go fill up my Keurig, and I make myself tea all day if it gets too chilly in here. But the weather, it's kind of just wreaking havoc on it. It's nice. We will be wanting these days when it's 102 and 103 degrees outside. But right now, we're wanting some warmth. We did go this weekend and finished getting all of the stone that was needed for my garden. So I purchased all the stone. It's a wonder my bank didn't call me, because I would go to my home improvement store. I'd go to Lowe's, which had the color stone that I wanted, and I would purchase anywhere from 10 to 15 stones, because that's all my car would hold. And so between $20 and $35 debit. Every time I went, and I would go to Lowe's about every 20 minutes, because it would take me that long to drive home, unload the car, go back, and get another load. And I did that 4 or 5 times in one day. So it's a wonder my bank didn't ding and go, is that a fraudulent charge? But they must be used to people running to Lowe's multiple times in the same day, because everything was fine. But we finally have all of the stone needed for the garden. And I was really hoping that we wouldn't need to dig up all the grass. I was hoping I could here's my head. I should have edited that out, but I'm sorry. I forgot where the camera was several times. I forgot I was even filming several times, which I guess is a good thing for you guys, because you see me in my natural habitat. But I try to keep my head out of the way so that you guys can see what's going on. Anyway, I've tried to do the no dig method in my garden, which is laying down a thick layer of cardboard over the grass and then laying down a thick layer of mulch or compost to hold the cardboard down. And that's supposed to heal the grass. Supposed to. It's not doing that. So we're going to have to get out there and dig the grass out. And I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do that step. We have a very hard, compacted clay soil, and it really just holds onto the grass like nobody's business. So Mike's going to have to get out there and help me. I'm just digging out a little bit of wax that squished out of my pen right there. Kind of giving it a bit of a straighten. So my wax this time on this particular session, didn't stay. I kept digging into my wax pot quite a bit, because it just wouldn't stay in my pen well for some reason. And I haven't changed my nib. I haven't changed anything with my pen. I haven't changed my wax, but for just some reason, it just was not a happy little wax pot and wouldn't stay in my pen very well this time. But you deal with it, you learn. So, and I'm sorry, I have the hiccups again. Why every time I go to record, I get the hiccups? I don't understand why. Anyway, I keep taking a piece of release paper and covering whenever I pour my drills, because it's a larger surface. I'm not used to opening up such a large surface, but I wanted some really good playtime with you guys. So I just take a piece of that release paper, cover it up. I use it also for my hands, to keep my hands off the sticky part if I feel like I'm touching. It's a really good way of protecting your canvas temporarily. These are release papers. Oh yeah, here's my these are good drills. They're not trash drills. They're good drills that when you go to put the drills that you're finished with back in their normal container, it's for the ones that jump free. So I just kind of stick them all in that pot, and then periodically I'll dump them out and match them up and put them back in their regular little containers that they go in. But just for time's sake, I put them in that tiny little pot, and it works well. But I purchased the release papers from Amazon. Just looked up diamond painting release papers. They popped up. These are 4x6 size, a little bit bigger than I want. I like a 4x4 size, but they didn't have them in this particular style. And it's okay. I make it work. I could go through and trim off 2 inches off all of the release paper, but that's a bit of a waste. So I'm kind of retraining the way that I diamond paint to this new style, which means I have a piece of spare off to the side, and when I need it, I just cover up part of the sticky and kind of protect it from my hands, from little feet that might try and walk across the canvas in a sneak attack fashion, or when I'm pouring drills back in their little containers. And it works really, really well. And the paintbrush just kind of helps me keep from making a mess, because I can't pour things back in small containers apparently without making a mess. So the paintbrush just kind of helps me along, and it's just a standard cheap little paintbrush that I picked up from the kids section of the craft store, and it lives in my drill tray. So I'm just moving on with my colors, enjoying my day. I think on this I'm listening to, what book am I listening to while I'm here? I'm going back in J.D. Robb and listening to, let me look it up real fast. Oh, Secrets in Death by J.D. Robb is the book that I'm listening to. It's I get in these kicks where I have to go back and just pick a random J.D. Robb book and listen to it while I'm diamond painting. The premise, if you've never heard of J.D. Robb, is it is the same characters, but the cases change with each book. So the same core characters, they're murder mysteries. Eve Dallas is a murder cop, and this is her solving different cases, and each case is a different book. And I think we're on book 51, possibly 52. I've lost count at this point. Very long standing, there's the zipper wax right there. But very long standing series of books, and I love listening to them while I diamond paint. I'm not affiliated with Audible, but me and Audible are best friends, and it is just my go-to when I'm diamond painting. I want a good mystery, and they're not super scary. I don't like to scare myself, but they are thinkers. I love good thinker books that make you go, who did it? And how's she gonna get out of that pickle? Or why did they go this way? And then the characters are starting to evolve and develop, and it's kind of like visiting a best friend while you're diamond painting. So I really, really, if you need a good murder mystery that also has some very yummy characters, let's just put it that way, check out J.D. Robb, check out the In Death series. I highly recommend them. I highly recommend any Nora Roberts books. I love Nora Roberts, I love Danielle Steele, I love Patrice Small, although the people that she gets for her Audible books, I have a really hard time listening to a lot of the Beatrice Small or Patrice Small books in Audible, because the narrators some of them are quite horrid. I don't care for them. So on those books, I may stick to my just holding the book in my hand and enjoying the book that way. But I'm a very avid reader, so this is just one way of combining both loves of diamond painting and reading, or scrapbooking and reading at the same time. And it's odd because I've gotten to where I can't cook unless I listen to a book. If I try to cook without listening to a book, we end up having to go to Sonic that night because I've screwed it up and burnt it or something. Something about having my brain do two different things at the same time works with cooking. It's very odd, but it works. So you'll notice also on this canvas, whenever I talked in the last video, I said that I was going to try and keep the clear cover on this canvas because it's going to take me longer than a month to get it done. And I wanted better coverage and protection on this canvas from my cats, because my cats like to be mischievous, and they like to try and get in trouble. So I was going to try and keep the cat hair off the canvas better than release papers. And I did, I gave it an honest try. I did 2 squares to where I was just cutting out portions of the clear coat that I needed to get rid of so that I could work. And the crinkle was bothering me so bad that I just couldn't do it. When I got ready to do my 3rd square, I had to take it off. I couldn't stand it. So I'm just being very careful with the canvas. I'm still starting in the center, so most of it is draped in my lap or over my lap and hanging down close to my feet. That's how long this canvas is. I don't want to do the rolling method yet. I may have to, but I'm trying to not have to at the moment. My desk is narrow enough that I can just put a pool noodle on both ends of my desk, at the top and at the bottom, and protect the edges and just let the canvas drape over my desk. And I'm trying that, and it seems to be working quite well. So I'm just having to be careful. The other problem that I was having with the clear coat is I used washi tape to section off my sections. Everybody does it. Seems to work well for everybody. But most people also roll their canvas, and I'm trying not to roll my canvas because I just don't like how it feels when I'm working with it. It worked great when I had my easel or when I use my easel. But when I'm working flat, I don't like having the rolled up canvas under my wrists. So what was happening is the washi tape, because it was draped down by my knees, kind of laying over by my knees, the washi tape was coming off, and it was getting stuck on my clothes. So all of my grid lines were peeling off, which is, it could have been okay. I could have just taken and making a grid for just the section that I was going to be working with and leaving the rest as clear coat and taking off all of the washi grid. That would have worked, but again, the crinkle was just bothering me. So I was like, you know what, let's just not fight it. I'm sorry, there's my head again. And I was having a bad hair day, so I give up. I need to go and seriously get my hair redone. But that takes time I don't want to take away. I've become a house mouse this last year, and I don't want to people right now, so I haven't been peopling. So I took off the clear. I know I'm bouncing around, sorry guys. I took off the clear. There's no more crinkle. I have release papers, and I'm just gonna have to be careful with the release papers as it dangles by my lap. And I've just got stuff bouncing in my head, so it's gonna come out. It's gonna be out of order. Just roll with it. This is what Jenny is, and Jenny has had 2 cups of coffee. So I am somewhat awake. And so, anyways, but yeah, I'm adoring this canvas. It doesn't at this point. Does not have a lot of confetti yet, but I am still working in the center of the canvas. So I stopped and popped in a little picture of the moment so you can have picture in picture. And I am working in the portion of the canvas that is just above the rose. So you can see between my hand and the section that I'm working on is that little piece of red down in there. That's the rose. So kind of catty corner up is the section that I'm working on. And I just kind of wanted you to see the picture in picture so you could just kind of get the overview of where we are in the canvas. And I wanted to start in the center of the canvas so that, and I actually started a little bit below that because obviously I can't section things off very well. But I wanted to start in the center because, let's start that over again. That was a tongue twister. I wanted to start in the center section of the canvas because that is the hardest part of the canvas for me to work on. It's the hardest part to reach. It is more of the same colors mixed in, so it's got a little bit more color blocking. So I kind of wanted to get, and I'm doing this in air quotes, I kind of wanted to get the worst part of the canvas over. And it would also show me how the drills work as far as what these symbols are. It kind of trained me on what the symbols are, get me used to where the symbols are in my drill tray, because there's a certain way that I set up my drill tray. I set it up as numbers, letters, then symbols, and for this kit I actually had to color code the symbols. So I've got all the symbols that are red together, all the symbols that are yellow together, and you understand where I'm going with this. So it's numbers, the numbers are in order, alphabet, the alphabet's in order, and then symbols, and the symbols are in color order. So I wanted the center of the canvas to not only get that portion finished, but also use it as my training ground so that when I get to the edges and I start flipping the canvas upside down and sideways, I'm used to what the symbols on the canvas look like, and I'm less likely to misplace a color because the canvas is upside down and I make a mistake because I'm reading a symbol upside down and backwards and think it's a different symbol. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm starting in the center for numerous reasons on this canvas. And with it being so big, I thought, you know what, let's not make any mistakes starting off. Let's start right side up, stay right side up as long as we can, learn what we need to learn about the canvas, get used to the symbols, get used to where they are in our drill tray before we start flipping and turning and working upside down and working sideways and all of that jazz with the canvas. And it seems to be working quite well for me. I normally start upside down, but this canvas is so big. It is, what's the size on it? It is 70 by 93, and there are 58 colors. So there are 58 different symbols to learn on this canvas. So I was like, let's just start out right. Let's start out on the right foot and start down the center, give myself the longest amount of time to learn it and also enjoy it. I also don't have to worry about, how do I phrase this? I don't have to worry about accidentally creasing the canvas or making a drill pop off accidentally because I put my weight on it while I'm leaning over, because there's nothing in the way of the edges at the moment. The edges are all clear. There's no drills along the edges. In the center, I can get to it unimpeded. There we go. I can get to it unimpeded by other drills. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna take a quick sip, and I just dropped my lid. Oh well, I guess I have no lid now. I'll just have to be very careful if the cat walks through. So, anyway, if you are even slightly considering getting this canvas, or any Josephine wall for that matter, just do it. Just jump on it. It is a definite challenge. I have been diamond painting for almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years. And this is a definite challenge. I will give you that. But it is an enjoyable challenge. It is, like I said, at this point, there's not a lot of confetti. But I have worked with canvases in the past that have confetti, so I'm confident that I can work on it. I am a one tray drill girl. These tongue twisters are getting me today. So I work with one tray, one color, one pen. I will rarely use a multi-placer because it's lack of practice on my end, but when I use a multi-placer, I feel like a toddler. And this is enjoyment to me. It is the way I unwind. It brings me pleasure. And a one placer just brings me, or I'm sorry, a multi-placer brings me stress. So I'm not big on stressing myself out. So I prefer a single placer, which will work well with the confetti on this canvas. The one part that's going to be a little more difficult for me, that is not for other people, is because I am one tray, one color, one pen. It's going to be a lot of pour out the drills, put the drills back, pour out the drills, put the drills back, pour out the drills, put the drills back, because of the boys. I don't want to risk getting having more than one tray out and getting a mess on my hands if the boys get squirrely and go racing across my desk. So that's a small sacrifice to make, but it will also mean that it will take me longer to finish this canvas, and that's okay too. That's really okay. I'm not in a race. I'm not in a rush. I know there is, in the month of May, there's going JWall going on right now. I'm enjoying watching all the submissions with going JWall, but I'm not in a race. This is, if it takes me 3 and 4 months to finish this canvas, it takes me 3 and 4 months to finish this canvas. And I'm also a one canvas girl. I was talking to one of my commenters on the last video, because she wanted to see a kidding down video. I didn't know if you guys actually wanted to see a kidding down videos. I've had 2 or 3 people now mention they would like to see kidding down videos. I will be sure to put that in the videos now. But I explained to her that I work on one canvas at a time. So kitting up, kitting down are going to be few and far between because I only keep one kit open. I don't do multiples at one time because part of my enjoyment is I'm going to immerse myself in this kit. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it to its fullest and, play with it for the time that I have it. But that's also why I don't have a large stash of diamond paintings. I think I have, I'm pulling up my log at the moment. In my log I use, what's the name of this? I think it's just called Diamond Painting Log is actually what it's called. I don't use gem flows. I have one current diamond painting that I am working on, which is this one here you're watching. I have 6 that have been received and not started. 2 of those I cannot film because they are not DACs. I've made a commitment to this channel that I'm only going to film licensed artwork, and I have 3 that are pre-ordered that I have not received yet. That's my stash. That is all that I have. And in my stash, I have Masque of Love that you're watching. In the received, not started section, I have Farm Country, Halloween Haunted House, Inspiration of Spring Meadows. There's one called, I call it Religion Nativity, that I bought from Hurricane, I believe. I have The Sloth from Evermoment, and then I have Worlds Away by Mandy Manzano. And then in the pre-ordered not received, I have Once Upon a Dark Night. I'm going to thoroughly butcher this one. It's the Josephine Wall, Oberton and Tatiana. That name is I'm gonna butcher it every time, and I'm so sorry. And the 10th Doctor. Those are my pre-orders and not received. That's it. That's my entire stash. So I don't keep a lot on hand. In fact, before this past couple of months, I even had a 1-in, 1-out rule. Now, with the creation of the Diamond Art Club VIP group, that kind of not only flew out the window, but jumped out the window. The Diamond Art Club VIP group, Diamond Art Club has to invite you to be part of it. If I could invite you, I would, but they have to invite you to be part of it. And we get sneak peeks of what is coming up down the pipeline as far as what they're thinking about. We get to vote on future artists, and we kind of get a little bit of a sneak peek on what is coming out the next week. I kind of need to quit looking at those because that's how my stash grew to 10 in a month and a half or so. Because I would see those coming up, and like with the Once Upon a Dark Night, at some point that's going to be retired. That's been on my wish list for a while, and I actually used my points to purchase that one, so that entire canvas cost me a whole $12, 10 of which was shipping. So I used my points to purchase that kit, but the rest of it was just ones that I knew I needed them. They're going to be done in a timely fashion. But now, unless there's a Josephine Wall that comes out that I have a conniption fit over, I think I'm done for a while. I think I have all the kits that I need. I have plenty of kits to film. I have plenty of kits to work on, and like I said, it may take me 2 or 3 months because these are larger kits. The smallest kit that I have is, I think, Worlds Away. Worlds Away is 55 by 73. Inspiration of Spring is larger. Halloween is 79 by 56, so that's even bigger. Yeah, the smallest one that I have that I can film is Worlds Away. The Sloth is 30 by 40. I actually bought that one to take on a cruise with us. It was supposed to be a 10-day cruise to Panama Canal. It got canceled. Dang it. I really wanted to go on that cruise. And then the nativity scene is 50 by 70. So all of them are very large canvases. They're going to take me a while to work on. And that makes me happy. It makes me very, very happy. Because like I said, this is my enjoyment. This is how I relax. And I'm a turtle. You guys will notice that I only do 3, maybe 4 WIP and chats for each canvas. I could easily make a WIP and chat for each and every section that I do. But at some point, you're going to get tired of looking at the same canvas. So I try to limit it to 3 or 4 WIP and chats with a kitting up video. And now I'm going to add a kitting down video. I didn't realize that kitting down would be so interesting, but if you guys want it, I will definitely film it for you. Kitting down is not my favorite part of it, but it's a necessary evil. And if you guys want to see how I kit down, I would be more than happy to film that for you. Not a problem. So where am I at? I have been talking my little head off and not even paying attention. Let's see. Hand, you need to move so I can see where we're at. I'm going to take a break talking for just a moment. Nope, hand's not moving. I think we still have quite a bit. We're at the 30-minute mark, so I think we still have quite a bit to go. So the children came over yesterday, and we always celebrate Mother's Day just when everybody can get available. My daughter had to work. She's in service. She's wait staff at a restaurant. She obviously had to work, so we just pushed it off to her first day off, which happened to also be my husband's birthday. Everything happens in May. We've got my husband's birthday, Mother's Day, my mother's birthday, our anniversary, my best friend's birthday, which I get to spend the weekend at a scrapbooking retreat with her for her birthday. Slightly after her birthday, but we'll call it that so that we can see each other. So May is very, very busy as far as holiday month for us. So we got together last night with Kayla and her boyfriend Joe and had dinner, and we did birthday with my husband, and we did Mother's Day, and my daughter made me cry with her card and her Mother's Day gift. I love the willow tree figurines. And she purchased me this beautiful, it's actually called Sister to Sister figurine, but for her it symbolizes me and her taking a walk and just having a conversation. And she has turned into the most amazing adult that I can ever imagine. I am so proud that she's my daughter and as she puts it, my best friend and her best friend. So she made me all teary. And she told me when I opened this gift that I had to put it in a place that I would see it every day. So it is now on my desk. So I see it every day, and I put the card that she gave me up on my magnetic bulletin board, so I see it every day. I can't read it every day because it'll make me cry again, but it is with me every day. My husband bought me a hummingbird feeder, a very gorgeous hummingbird feeder. So it is my first time attempting to attract hummingbirds. So I received 2 very thoughtful gifts from my people in my life, and I cherish them. So it was a very, very good Mother's Day for us. And my husband's birthday, my daughter, she kills it with the gifts. She gets it right the first time every day. Every time, let's go that way. Let's do every time. And his gift from her is just totally him. Well, let's try that over again. I just recorded 20 minutes of narration with no microphone. So we're going to try again. Sorry for the pause in narration. I had to stop recording quite suddenly a couple of days ago and just was never able to get right back to it. So now we're going to finish up the second part of this video. Just got interrupted and wasn't able to get back to it. Nothing emergent going on, just a general household interruption. But in the meantime, in between narrations, I was finally able to go yesterday and get my hair done. It was really bugging me that in this video, the couple of times that my head gets in the video, that I needed to get my hair done. I did not realize how badly the top of my head was gray. You know, we talked about this in the last video. I'm about to be 50 years old. It's about time that I start going gray. I am naturally blonde, or getting a little bit darker blonde. So I haven't had to worry about it up to this point too badly. But this video just kind of pushed me over the edge. So I went yesterday to my little hairdresser, which, to tell you how often I get my hair colored, I get it colored once every other year or so, just to go play. And this time she asked me what color I wanted to do, and I was like, not gray. We're not doing gray. We're going to go ahead and fix the gray. So she was trying to tell me that I wasn't gray, and I was like, just wait. Just look at my head, you'll see. And she got a good look at my head, because it had been a couple of months since I'd even been in for a haircut. And she was like, oh, okay. So we went with a nice caramel color. It's something that I've not done in the past. And I like it. And I also chopped off my hair. So you'll notice in the next couple of videos, my hair is dramatically shorter. But we are about to hit the Texas heat. And I was trying to grow my hair back out, and it wasn't happening. It got to a certain point on my neck, and I just couldn't handle it. So I pointed to a picture on the wall at my hairdresser's and just said, make it look as close to that as possible. And she did. And I like it. So we're still in the 3-day not allowed to wash part of when you get your hair colored. So my hair smells a little funny. The cats keep standing up and using my head and, you know, sniffing my head, standing up on my head and trying to figure out why I smell funny, but it's rather comical. So anyway, I have also moved on to the next section of this canvas in real life. So where my hand is right now, over on the right, I'm now working on that portion of the canvas in real life. It's got a little bit more of the confetti into it. In this section in the video, we're still kind of color blocking a little bit, but I'm really, really enjoying the confetti. I thought it would be tedious. I didn't think I would like it, but I'm really, really enjoying it. So when we get to filming that portion of it, hopefully you will enjoy it too. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. I've only had 2 cups of coffee. But hopefully you will enjoy seeing that portion too. If you, and I've said earlier in this video, if you're even considering getting a Josephine wall, any of her canvases. I know Diamond Art Club just put out, and I think they put it out before I started recording this narration, and I just forgot to mention it. They've got all of the Zodiacs under contract. So they're going to finish off her Zodiac line. And they just asked us to vote on more of her artwork. I don't know how many they're going to come out with. I don't know if they're going to come out with any. They're just asking us to vote for the ones that we would like to see done. This is in the Diamond Art Club VIP group in Facebook that Diamond Art Club has to invite you to. And if you're part of that group, hello, I'm Jennifer. If you're not, they will at some point, once you start ordering from Diamond Art Club, they will invite you to be a part of that group. It's nothing special. You don't have to be a diamond. I think at this point I'm Ruby, and I got there quite by accident. It wasn't something I set out to do. I ordered a couple of paintings at one time, and I guess it pushed me over the edge. But hopefully it appears that they're going to be getting a few more Josephine walls. So if you are on the fence about getting a Josephine wall, you're not sure if it's going to be more complex, I will say this is the largest canvas that I have attempted to complete. Let me get a drink of water real fast. Pardon me there for a moment. I started sounding like a frog. It is the largest canvas that I have started to complete or started to work on, but I'm working on it in the same way that I work on every single canvas. Section it out, which on this one I tried to do. On this one, I tried to do the clear coat with washi tape sectioning. That did not work out well for me, so I went ahead and put my release papers back on it, but I'm working on teeny tiny sections at a time. That's the way I work on every single canvas. It works well for me. I'm not getting overwhelmed. The only thing I'm doing differently with this canvas, because it's so wide and long, is I'm working in the center first, and then once I get the center strip, like from top to bottom, completely finished, then I will start working on the edges, because the edges of a canvas are my favorite. Why when I start recording do I get the hiccups or I get a frog in my voice? Why? And they must know that I'm on a time frame right now. I have a meeting at 10:45. Anyway, back to topic. I love working on the edges, but by the time I get done working with the center, I will know my symbols. I should not get confused or upside down, because there's a couple of arrows that I could easily get turned around on this canvas if I'm working upside down. So hopefully by the time I get finished with the center, I'll know the symbols frontwards, backwards, they'll be in my brain as what they should be on this canvas. And that's the only thing I'm doing differently. So if you think it's going to be more than you can handle, just break it down into smaller sections. If you really want to work on one of these canvases, order it. Squares are not scary. In fact, for me, I love squares more than I love rounds, and I'll do a round any day. But to me, squares look more complete when they're finished. If you've got a good quality canvas, you don't have to worry about popping. You don't have to worry about things not fitting. Every now and then with Diamond Art Club, you'll get a drill that's not stellar, but that's not very often at all. I have my trash drill container for Diamond Art Club has very little in it compared to other companies, especially on squares. And you just work one square at a time. Don't worry about it. Just move your own speed, get a good book, and just get it done. Hi, which kitten? Oh, hi, Dumpling. Are you going to come see? Yes. Do you want to talk? No, he doesn't want to talk. He just wants to walk past. But, don't let the canvas scare you. If it's one that you really, really want to do, order it. Make sure that you've got time to work on it. This particular canvas I can't leave on my desk, so I put it over on my island, which I have space to store it. I put it over on my island when I'm not working on it, and the only reason I do that, I could let it hang over my desk. That's not a problem, but the only reason I put it up and put it over on my island is I have cats. And I could see them being little turds and either biting the edges that are hanging over, or batting at it, or getting a piece of the release paper loose and exposing some of the glue. And so it's not worth it to me. So when I'm not working on it, I will go put it on the island and put a large self-healing mat from my scrapbooking on the top of it, just to kind of protect it. That's just me. Once it's on my island, it doesn't really need that. But I do that so that if I want to put something on my island, if I need to set something down, my painting is safe, and I can do that without worrying about my painting. So this is just how I'm working on this particular canvas, and it's working out well for me. I do have, with my desktop being, in fact, that's me tapping on it, with my desktop being stainless steel, I am able to use a couple of magnets to help hold the canvas onto my table, because so much of it is dangling off the edge of my table. And I do have two pool noodles or pipe insulation foam, one on the top of my desk and one kind of like where your elbows are on your desk at the bottom, so that when I have both sections hanging over the top and the bottom, they're not getting creased. So that works out well too. And again, I either just put on a podcast you guys have suggested in other WIP and chats that I have been watching. You guys have suggested podcasts that we've all been listening to, and I have books that I listen to. Sometimes I listen to music, and I just sit here and enjoy it. Someone was mentioning, I was reading Facebook today, and someone was mentioning that diamond painting can be kind of lonely. And I thought, yeah, that's true. A lot of times my husband will come in here and sit with me, and he works on his thing and I work on my thing. But I'd say what really combats being lonely is putting on a WIP and chat that is long, and just listening to that person and having, like, especially with me, Mrs. Crochet and Coffee makes me giggle. If I'm in a mood that I want to listen to somebody, make me giggle while I'm playing, I will put Mrs. Crochet and Coffee on. If I'm in the mood, like if it's a dreary day and I can't get outside, but part of my brain is playing with plants, I'll put on Garden Answers. I'll just run a playlist of Garden Answers. and Laura's out there playing in her, playing in her gardens, and I can watch her plant flowers. If I have the travel bug and I just want to be somewhere other than my home, I'll put on one of my sailing channels, whether it is free range sailing, which they're based out of Australia, or Uma Sailing, which right now they're in Norway, or my very first sailing channel I ever had was Gone with the Winds, which right now they're trying to go from Tonga over to New Zealand. And all of these people they live on their boats, and they just sail. That's what they do. And it's very peaceful. And just, I can listen to them and watch them and diamond paint at the same time. I'm not one to watch a lot of television or a lot of Netflix shows because I get distracted and I stop diamond painting and I start watching the television. So for me, it's things that I can listen to old friends talking back at me. I kind of consider, I don't know her. It's going to sound really weird. It's going to sound kind of stockish, but because I've been listening to Crochet and Coffee so much, I kind of feel like she's an old friend and a girlfriend that you can just listen to. And when she talks about her kids, my daughter's completely grown. She's got little children. And I find myself going, girl, just wait. Just, no. You think you're going through a phase. You're not going through a phase. Just wait. You haven't hit 12 yet, which I think with her older daughter, she has hit 12, but her older daughter doesn't live with her full time. So she only gets that age group part-time. And I'm just like, no, just wait. You'll get there. You think you're on your last nerve now. It gets better. Just wait. So I find myself quietly giving her parenting advice back at the screen, which in turn makes me giggle because I'm like, okay, you dork. She can't hear you. I don't know what you're doing. She can't hear you, but it makes the day go by. It kind of makes diamond painting not feel quite so lonely. So if you're one of those diamond painters that you feel a little bit lonely, find a channel that you truly love and just put it on a playlist. Most of us have our diamond painting, if we have other crafts that we do at the same time, we have our diamond painting stuck in a playlist, which I need to go through and break mine down by canvas. That way if you want to watch Not Bad, Just Drawn That Way, you look at that particular playlist. Or if you want to watch the Josephine Walls, I need to go through and just break mine into playlists, and I keep forgetting to do that. But find your favorite channel. There are so many out there, and just turn on a playlist and listen to a friend talk, because we all are in the same boat with this hobby. There's, like with scrapbooking, you can go to a crop, you can go to a retreat. This weekend I'm going to a retreat that's 3 days, and I'm schlepping all of my stuff to a scrapbooking crop, and I'm going to spend time with 12 to 15 other ladies sharing memories, and hey, look at this layout, and look at these pictures and memories. And we take Kleenexes because there's always tears involved from somebody's memories, and you just get some girl time, and you don't get that with diamond painting. And I've only seen one diamond painter at a scrapbooking crop. In fact, it's how I found diamond painting. You've heard me say this before. But I've only seen one diamond painter, but you don't see, diamond painting get-togethers. I know that Rachel Ray was talking about trying to get one put together, and COVID hit, and I think that went by the wayside. I never really heard anything else about it. And I actually gave serious consideration to fly into Ireland. I'm in Texas. I actually gave consideration to fly into Ireland and going, okay, let's see who else in this world. And it's back when I first got into diamond painting, and there weren't very many channels. Now you've got a plethora of channels, which is fantastic. I love the fact that there's so many of us, and that there's so many of us filming, because you have people that cannot get out of their house. You have people that are a little more homebound, and this can be just a way of getting to the outside world, even inside your house. It doesn't even have anything to do with isolation. You've got people that can't drive, or they're not allowed to drive, or they're a little bit on the older side, and they love diamond painting, and they just don't get out as much as they used to. Or you've got people, it's going to be hard to believe, but I'm an introvert. There are times that I really don't want to people, and my daughter is the same way. We do okay with the vlogs, we do okay with making the videos, but there's times where we don't want to people. We just don't want to go out there. That's one thing with with the isolation and the COVID and everything, man, online ordering, I've gotten into that. I rarely, other than going to the grocery store, I rarely go to a store anymore. I just don't need to. You have online ordering. And yeah, I've got a Walmart walking distance to my house. I rarely, unless I have a big shop that I need to do and I've got to stock up on stuff, I rarely ever go to a grocery store. And that's one thing that a lot of companies are looking at and making it easier to do online shopping. So these channels are just helping people that may be like me and don't want to get out. Have I finished? No, I have not finished. I've got one more color. I seize it. Yep, there it is. But you've also got the extroverts. You've got the Cheryl Burks, and I don't know John Legend's wife. Christy Teigen, is that how you say her name? So you've got more extroverts out there with their channels. We're just one great big community, and I love that. So anyway, find the paintings that you enjoy, find the channels that you enjoy, and sit back and just have some you time. Being a mommy or being an adult in general, it's rough. I mean, there's a saying out there that, if I knew that being an adult meant that I had to try and figure out what to feed myself every day for the rest of my life with being an adult, I don't want an adult. I get tired of trying to figure out, okay, what are we eating tonight? Oh, okay, what are we eating tomorrow night? And that's where I got into a really bad habit before COVID of we'd eat out 3 or 4 times a night, a week, because I just got tired of cooking. COVID has kind of retrained my brain a little bit. I've gotten back into cooking. I've decided to utilize my cookbooks more, but it's still there. You still have to figure out what to feed yourself. You still have to sustain life and sustain food, and so it's still, it's still difficult. So diamond painting just is some enjoyment in your day. I mean, we all have those things that have to get done, but diamond painting is our way of escaping and just having, some me time. Put on a candle, put on a sensei, because I work in my scrap room, so I don't like open flames in here. So I have sensei candles with the little light bulbs. And that's the other thing is I melted down a bunch of my candles because I don't like flames in here, and made my own sensei melts out of my regular candles. So I have any scent that I want in here. I turn on my candles. Pardon me. I turn on my lava lamps. I have 3 lava lamps in here, and I just make a little oasis for myself. And now that I've got really good lighting, I can actually diamond paint at night again, which is fun because if I have a hard time sleeping, I can just come in here and quietly diamond paint and not bother my family. I used to clean house and vacuum and change rooms around, and you don't realize how noisy you're being until both of your husband and daughter wake up and looking like pissed off little elves. And oops, sorry guys, I'll stop vacuuming at 2 o'clock in the morning and let you guys sleep since you have work and school. So this gives me something to do also when I can't sleep. And it's quiet, and I can just be in here until my little self gets tired, and then I can go back to bed. So anyway, now that I've done a long ramble that just kind of went off into nowhere, let's complete this little section here. I like when I get to like where I am right here because I don't have to worry about my hand sticking. I don't have to, that one there didn't place. It's not a pop drill, it just didn't place well. I can just, normally by this point, the wax in my pen is in that sweet spot where you can pick everything up. I can tell by the speed I can pick everything up just fine. I'm not, fighting my pen, which it doesn't matter what pen you use. Sometimes the wax just doesn't want to be cooperative. I was trying to find an alternate word for a cuss word. Sometimes your pen doesn't want to be cooperative, and this is a sweet spot. My pen is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. I have a frog in my throat, hold on. And I'm able to finally get to where my hand's not sticking. So this is the most enjoyable portion of the section for me, is just about when you're finished. And you also start getting those little clicks when your drills are falling into place perfectly. Before I run out of time, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending a moment of your time with me. I know you have. a choice of many, many, many different channels. And I'm so appreciative that you choose to spend a moment of your day with me. I try to make this a non-controversial, non-political, non-anything channel. I want this to be totally enjoyable, and hopefully I'm making that for you. Again, thank you so much for playing with me today and just spending a little bit of your time with me. I hope you're working on your own project, whether it be scrapbooking, whether it be diamond painting, whether it's card making. We've got some beaders and some crocheters and some quilters that like to pop in. When I did my scrapbooking nights, I had a little bit of everything show up from when I taught scrapbooking in my home. And I didn't care who showed up to play. I just wanted some girl time. I wanted us to have a spot that we could all just sit together and have some girl time that was safe. And I didn't have to worry about, you're not going out and have to worry about getting home safely, because all the women lived in the neighborhood. Some of them could walk home. And we all got home safely. We all played. We all had dinner. And that's kind of like what I want to emulate here, is just a safe place that we can all come together, work on our independent crafts, and just enjoy what we do. Because as moms, we don't get a lot of time. We don't get a lot of time to ourselves. I want this to be fun for each of us. So again, I thank you so much for joining me. We're just about finished. I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to back up the frame and show you my kit, my drill tray. But I don't want to forget to say thank you. Please come back again. I enjoy my time with you. And let's see, I'm cleaning up. Oh, I have one. Do I have? Oh, I do. I have a little bit more. I didn't even see that. Okay, I like purple. I like ending with purple. But I think I moved the frame back and I show you my drill tray and the progress that I've made on the canvas, just as we get ready to close the video out. Because I'm trying to kind of give you an overview. We get stuck with these itty bitty sections, tight frames, and you can't really see what's going on with the full canvas. So I wanted to zoom out and let you see the full, the full of what we've been able to get done. So I'm going to be quiet for just a moment. Almost there. Yay! Ooh, sit down. Okay, so now we're going to clean up a little bit, and then I will show you my drill tray and zoom out a little bit. It's kind of hard when you take a break in between narrations. You kind of forget what you did. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye. Thank you.